Hello everyone, it's Lynn. Welcome back to Thoth Thursday. Today we are going to talk about a topic that I'm pretty passionate about in terms of Thoth, okay? Thoth, my beloved system that I use, I don't know, has become kind of popular again? I don't know what you say. Like, popular, mainstream. I've seen a couple of videos on several channels lately mentioning Thoth and like either buying the deck anew, like, you know, buying it because they never had it, or pulling it out of a dusty drawer and trying to like play with it again. And then they talk about like Thoth content and how there's like so much like fear mongering and gatekeeping within using the Thoth. Like some of the things that these people have referenced was the fact that the Thoth is a research deck, a study deck. It'll take a lifetime for you to learn it. Guilty. I am so guilty of this. But only because the Thoth is a study deck for moi, okay? But if that doesn't appeal to you, if studying the Thoth doesn't appeal to you, if you're not interested in the layers, then that's perfectly okay. I think that is so important to do tarot your way. Hashtag tarot your own way. You know? Because I think that it is a system all in its own. And all you need to know with that is just like you would if you had the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and you were kind of like interested in the Marseille, you would just have to know like the bearer, what makes the Three of Swords different for the Rider-Waite-Smith versus the Marseille, and then that's it, right? Same thing with the Thoth. There are some cards in here that aren't going to have the typical, or what I would consider the meaning that is in all of the reference materials that reference the Rider-Waite-Smith system. There'll be some, you know, some differences and things are changed around, and like bare bones learning, which is what you would have to do if you were learning tarot anyway, with any new system, is what you would have to do with the Thoth. But there should be no discouragement. And I don't want my Thoth Thursdays to turn into these videos that people are like, oh my gosh, she's putting out some like hour-long videos about something like that no one cares about. Well, first and foremost, I started this channel for Thoth love because I was seeing so much tarot content that surrounded the Rider-Waite-Smith system. And I needed something to kind of reflect my Thoth love and also to be able to share the findings that I have on my tarot journey. So some of those specific topics that seem kind of heavy and that seem kind of like off the wall, they're just sharing the findings with you guys, you know? But it doesn't mean a thing. If learning that specific layer isn't your thing, then that's perfectly okay. I think that my Thoth Thursdays, I kind of designed them so you could skip around, you know? You could watch this video and then not watch the next couple of videos, and watch what videos you know are probably you're gonna learn something that you want to learn about the Thoth. But if it's not something you're interested in, don't beat yourself up, okay? I want absolutely no fear or discouragement with just getting this deck out. This is actually a trimmed version if you didn't know. I trimmed and corner rounded this. And this is my working deck. And I have a untrimmed version that I use for study. But like I said, if you get this deck, or you're pulling it out of a dusty drawer, and you want to just sling some cards, you don't want to worry about the layers, you don't want to care about the esotericism, do it. Make some stuff up, you know? Like, what the hell does this mean to you? What does this mean? Compare it to another system. See how that works out, you know? Compare and contrast. You know, you could do that. Something like that. Like an exercise for you to do if you're wanting to learn this. You don't have to learn it, you know? Like, I think that all in all, It's just a tarot deck, you know? I will put another disclaimer here that if you have vowed not to use this deck because of Crowley and because of his life and what people have said about him, that is perfectly okay. You don't have to use this deck. That's another thing I don't want my channel to be, is someone that thinks that the Thoth is the be-all, end-all system, because I don't believe that. It just happens to be the system that I believe in the most, and I'll say the deck that I use the most, I guess. But that doesn't mean a thing. That's just me. I'm one lonely person on this earth that happens to like this deck and use this deck the most. I actually have a couple of regulars that like regular comment and say, you know, I don't even use this system, but I still watch your videos. I love that, because I want them to be accessible. I want them to just be kind of entertaining and fun, and I don't want to be severe with my information. I want to give it, and I want to share the findings that I find, you know? But you could use this for anything. Like, you could use it for astrology, you could use it for any of the ways that you would use tarot, you could use the Thoth for. You don't have to know any of the layers, okay? Oh, I love that devil. You don't have to know any of these layers to play with it. It's a pack of cards. So if you have any discouragement, or if you've felt any discouragement from using this deck just on a bare level, and you've gotten that from some of my videos, here is the FYI from Lennon. My hashtag Thoth Thursdays are beloved to me, and a lot of research goes into them, and I appreciate all the people that come and comment and share their own findings. I love that. But don't ever think that I am discouraging you from using this deck if you don't want to learn all the layers. If you don't care about any of that, then you don't care about any of that. You can shuffle and sling these cards and put your own meanings. Like, make some stuff up. Like I said before, make it all up if you want to. This is like my absolute favorite card. One of the main differences in all the other systems is that, first of all, strength and justice are switched in numbers, and strength has turned into lust. But in my opinion, and in all the research I have, then this isn't a strength card. This is a lust card, and it's not a strength meaning. But you could put that, you could say, oh, this is strength, and she's riding a beast. You know, like, she's riding a lion instead of prying his mouth open. And if you trim it like I did this one, then you won't even know that this is the lust card. So you don't have to do anything. Like, you pretty much know that this is the Princess of Pentacles. That's another thing that's kind of getting switched around too in this system, is the court cards. But if you look, I think we just passed her. Like, just passed her. Yeah, here she is. You know, which one looks more queenly? That's all I gotta know. Like, okay, well, these are two female presenting figures. Which one looks like the queen? It could be this figure that looks like the queen to you. Who cares? At the end of the day, if whatever anyone, especially me, that comes on their channel and says about Thoth, and it fills you with dread, or it fills you with some kind of discouragement as to why you're not using this deck, and it's like heavy, there's a heaviness, and you're like, oh, I don't know, you know, I don't even want to mess with that. Don't let it. Get it out, sling some cards, and do it your way for a little while. If that doesn't fill you with dread, then that's how you're supposed to use it. That's the way you're supposed to use it. Whatever way, in your own private tarot practice, do it your way. Don't do it my way. My videos are for you to come and spend some time with me. And I mean, sure, if you learn something, great. But if it's just something to be entertaining and you're like, oh, you know, that was kind of cool, but you know, it's not really something I'm interested in, that's fine too. It needs to be fine. And I want it to be known that it's completely fine if you don't use this. So completely fine if you don't even like Thoth. Like, some people are like, I don't even, that's perfectly fine, you know? We're all the fool on this journey. And whether you're just starting out or, you know, you've gotten it out because it's like been in a drawer, like I said, and you've kind of gotten to the world with your tarot practice, you're starting back over with the Fool, then do you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. To revamp your tarot practice every once in a while, get back to basics, you know. I think that when I started out learning the Thoth, I had the Book of Thoth and Gerd Ziegler's book. And that was enough. I don't even think I read the Little White Book. I think it was, I read Crowley and Harris's correspondences, like their letters. It was on a website. I shared it, like in one of my first Thoth videos. Like letters back and forth about the cards and how to, you know, how Crowley wanted them done. And I read that with the Book of Thoth, and once I learned that there were layers, it filled my research heart, it just filled it up, because I like to study. I like to be like that person in the library that's got like the 25 books and notebooks and is just like writing all kinds of stuff down. Like that's what I love. And that's what I love about the system of Thoth. But all you gotta do is do this. I'm gonna try to do that, make some stuff up on the fly stuff, okay? I'm not gonna put any layers on it. I'm not gonna put any esotericism on it. I'm just gonna pull a card for you guys that are even remotely thinking that you're interested in this system, okay? Oh, see, when you drop one card, it's okay. You know, that's a jumper. But when you drop 10, you're not shuffling right. So, one riffle, because I'm a riffle shuffler. Okay, I'll have to clear off some space. Alright, pat in the booth. Cut the deck. However you shuffle is the right way. Princess of Swords. Maybe you want to read this like the Page of Swords. You know? What I see is someone looks like they're jumping off of a cloud and they're swiping at something. What are you swiping at? Swipe at everyone's... What you're swiping through is everyone's bull crap when it comes to this deck. Including my own videos. If you don't trust in your own self to build a tarot practice, if it's not resonating, cut it all out. You got to build it from the ground up. You got to jump off that cloud, sling some cards, and whatever fills you with fear or dread or discouragement from using a deck, cut it out. Completely cut it out. And if you do start learning or watching my videos and continuing with me on the hashtag Thoth Thursdays, then I'd love to hear from you. I'll be back to talk more about my beloved. But I don't want anyone to be discouraged. If you genuinely want to pick up this deck and sling it, sling it. Much love, people.